Hello, welcome to Introspection with Jeff. In this video, I wanted to talk about a new project, ongoing project maybe, um, on this channel. I want to talk about exploring my very first years of life, which I can't remember. From what I've learned on the internet, this isn't that uncommon. I think it's called childhood amnesia. Um, but at about age 7, maybe 6, those seem to be my earliest memories. So I want to reconstruct um, those earlier years up to a point where um, I can my full strong memories kick in, um, because I it's like I found myself in a situation of life, and I want to understand how I got there. Um, Also, I want to reconstruct those earliest years while I still can. I feel that time is going by. Time has been going by, and fortunately, I was able to reach out and get some information from people who remembered my mom and dad and so forth in those first few years. Um, I debated whether to mention. Well, I debated how much I should mention, particularly about my mom, but just family members in general. Um, I still don't know how much I should reveal information. I know in a past video, I've mentioned suspecting my mom had schizophrenia. So that's already been mentioned. Um, and that's one of the driving reasons for doing videos like this. I remember I remember being in Canada. I remember being in Winnipeg, and I think it was Ontario. I want to dig up the names of the school I went to and places I went. Um, and I figured one positive reason for doing a video like this or videos like this is that I could reach out to a wide audience. Maybe that would lead to somebody who does remember something or could help reconstruct or look up information that could help me. Um, what are my earliest memories? Well, timeline wise, I remember a lot about 1984, 1983, 1982. I still have a a bowling trophy that I bought with my mom at a store. It said Jeffrey's Trophy 1982. So I don't remember whether that was in Canada or the United States. Um, from what I gather, it seems like from the photocopies of Greyhound bus tickets and hotel stays and so forth, I have an impression that my mom, when I was about age 5, this would have been 1980 or 81. I think 81. I'd have to go back to those small lock boxes that are right near my bed. It seems like my mom left my dad and took me, and there's a memory of something in Canada that might have been my dad trying to find my mom. Um, I remember being in Winnipeg. Um, from what I've reconstructed, from a source or sources, um, I found out that my mom had connected with somebody. We had been living in another city in Canada, and she was looking for a place to live, and she connected with somebody who was renting out his home in Winnipeg. I don't remember any of that. I just remember um, living in this house with my mom and thinking I had that she was like a stepmom, something like that, because I remembered my mom as being different. I remember that I had a memory at the time, and I talked with my mom about having an earlier mom, and she said that that was her. Um, I remember my first day of school, and I offhand I don't remember the name of the school. It was something like St. Anne. It wasn't St. Anne. It was some. It was. It sounded almost prestigious. I'll have to dig up the name. Um, I walked to school. I remember cutting through my backyard in order to walk to school, and then I came home for lunch. I would go back to school for the afternoon classes. I took French because this is Winnipeg, um, and I remember putting up tape, little three-dimensional little map of my school on tape on the linoleum. I remember enjoying television shows. I'd probably seen Superman on black and white, not being aware that, because we had a black and white TV, not being aware that he wore blue and red and white, or red, white, and blue. Um, and I remember enjoying the Muppets, and um, and then after that, we moved to Albany, I think, for a little bit, and then to Binghamton. I mentioned this in an earlier video, um, but this would have been I spent my first grade in Winnipeg. Um, I think it was nine. Let me see. I was in sixth grade. It would have been something like 1981, 82. Uh, Fourth grade was 85, 86. Um, so third grade would have been 84, 85. Um, Third grade, second grade would have been 83, 84. You do the math. I don't remember. I remember my mom going to Safeway, the grocery supermarket, Safeway, on a routine basis, and coming home. She would walk, and then she would come home with groceries. Uh, I remember. I remember we spent at least one winter there because I put up like I want to say Jack Frost. We put up like I sort of want to say paper against the windows and then sprayed winter designs. I mean, they were stencils, and we would spray the design. Um, I remember ordering quite often from. We would order from the Chinese restaurant and pizza restaurant, and I remember they would come and deliver pizza or Chinese food. I enjoyed that. And I remember watching Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, and I don't remember much of anything else. I remember watching I Dream of Jeannie and enjoying that, and I I imagined being in my room and pretending that my room was like Jeannie's bottle where she would stay in her bottle. Um, and I remember having a dream of a hand coming up from underneath, like at the foot of my bed or the head of my, I think it was the head of my bed. I was like, it was a white hand, and me looking at the hand and marveling at such an odd sight, and the hand kind of gesturing sort of like this. Um, and I remember one time to impress my mom while she was away, I think it was at Safeway, um, moving the refrigerator from one part of the kitchen to another to show off my strength. Um, an early sign, I guess, of wanting to impress somebody. um, and I remember having a potty chair when I was very little. I mean, a plastic white potty chair. Um, and I remember, unfortunately, pissing in my sleep. I mean, being in my bed. Um, I don't remember much else. Fortunately, I was able to connect with somebody in the past few years who lived there around 1990, and she confirmed the map that I had sent her based on my recollection of what it looked like. Um, and she said that there was an upstairs. I don't remember where my mom was. She may have been, there may have been an attic or something upstairs where things were kept. Um, I don't remember where my mom slept. Um, I remember basically there being a living room here with a black couch, and then there were windows around here, and then uh, there was like a playroom, essentially what we called a playroom, with linoleum, and then over here, um, it was like a corridor going up here, and my bedroom would have been about here. And I remember looking up um, at the ceiling in the hallway through the an archway from my bedroom, like sitting lying on in bed. I think my bed was on the floor. A mattress was on the floor, I think. And I remember looking at that night. I don't want to say night light. That light fixture that looked sort of like almost like a face. It reminded me of a face. I mean, not necessarily that it had eyes and something resembling a mouth, just that it had features that it had features, and I thought of it being a face. Um, I don't remember much else, but I wanted to give you like a teaser, an opening to what I can remember. Um, I don't think it should be that hard. I just want to reconstruct that, and I've gotten some information about my mom's earlier life with my dad and so forth. I'm debating whether to mention that in these videos or not, but it's all it's a short video. I'll outline more memories I have, but I just wanted to start this project off and introduce it. So until next time, have a good day, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.